gluten and a lot of the refined grains, like refined wheats and things like that you find in commercial bread, wraps, things like that, they, for one thing, the gluten itself, the normal digestion of gluten is quite inflammatory, and particularly inflammatory for a lot of people. And then the white grains, white bread, there's not a lot of difference between a chocolate bar and a slice of white bread as far as your body is concerned. A really good tip my nutritionist teacher had taught me years ago was a good way of saying if bread, not and essentially all the time, but a good way of determining is if food is high or low GI, is just put it into a thing of cold water. If cold water can break down a food, think of a slice of white bread in a pot of cold water, and the bread will very quickly break apart. Then you're looking at quite a high GI, because if the cold water can break apart the bread, anything can. Your body is going to have no difficulty with it. So, and that in turn creates an insulin spike. Now, insulin spikes when we eat is quite normal in the whole lot. It's when we are spiking our insulin all the time through highly refined grains, sugars, too much. Then there's too much insulin going into our city, and we start developing a bit of insulin resistance, which is again very inflammatory. But these wraps, we all need sandwiches, we all need convenience foods, and this is a nice little, very, very simple wrap recipe. I'm going to just pair it up with a very, very simple tuna avocado salad. But the main thing here is the wrap. 2 ingredients, a cup of oats. What I've done is I've milled the oats down to a flour, so normal porridge. I've milled it into a flour in the liquidizer, and then into a suitable container, and then an equal amount of water. That's your flour, that's your wrap. Now, the thing with an oat flour is it'll look very light for the first few minutes, but very, very quickly that's going to thicken itself up. And if it gets a little too thick, add a smidge more water. You want kind of something resembling a nice kind of pancake batter. So, as that's just resting there for a few minutes, I'm going to very, very quickly make my little tuna. So I've used this a can of tuna in spring water. Spring water is important again. A lot of these tinned fish, I like using tinned fish because it's a good way of accessing the proteins, the fats and so on. But a lot of them are canned in sunflower and seed oils, which tend to be quite inflammatory. But the ones in spring water tend to be best. So just a normal bit of tuna in there. Then I've got a little bit of sushi ginger. Pickled ginger, you'll get this in any oriental, it's quite common nowadays. Don't necessarily need to use it, but I'm just put a little bit of ginger with tuna just to give it a bit of flavour. And then I have half a lemon. I took the zest off it as well. I always like to use the zest. There's a lot of flavour in there. And then a good generous squeeze of the lemon juice. Then a whole avocado, make sure it's a nice ripe avocado if at all possible. Otherwise they're a bit like eating a potato. So to cut your avocado, get your knife. On a board, don't cut it like this in your hand because it can slip and give you a particularly nasty cut. On a board, just simply roll your avocado, keeping your knife, always kind of know where the knife blade is. There's your avocado. Then rest it on the board and then lightly tap it with your knife. Turn it and the seed comes out very easily. And then use a spoon. I have a spoon? Yes. Kind of a nice curvy kind of spoon. And then just scoop out all of the avocado in one go. It's that simple to do an avocado. I'm just going to kind of crush it up in this fork. And that's the best way of preparing an avocado. Very, very simple. And the great thing of doing it with the spoon is you get all of that lovely kind of green flesh as well. Then I have just a couple of cherry tomatoes. I'm just going to roughly just chop those up. Again, pop those in there with my little tuna salad. And then finally, You could just use parsley, a bit of basil if you have it here. I just got a little selection of herbs from my garden, just a little small little bunch. Some oregano, marjoram, a little sprig of dill, and not too much of the dill, and a little bit of fennel. I'm just going to very quickly and very roughly just chop those up. And all the time there, just to show you that batter now is starting to thick it up, and it kind of resembles your kind of normal kind of pancake batter consistency. Just going to pop those in my little tuna salad. I like the avocado because it gives a nice creamy texture, and now just using a fork, I'm just going to crush the avocado and everything up together until I have a nice avocado, a lovely fresh kind of, and a little bit of ginger kind of giving a little bit of pop in there. Nice fresh kind of avocado tuna salad. Very, very simple, and that can be my filling for my wrap. Then what I have to do is cook my wrap. Now to cook your wrap, I just very, very lightly oil the pan. And make sure you have a good non-stick pan as well with this one. The oats will want to stick a bit, and they're quite a bit more delicate than you might with normal flour kind of batter. Into your pan. You cook like you might any pancake. Pop your oats in. A little bit bigger because it's to wrap it up. And then just coat the base of your pan with your little wrap. Just allow that to cook away and kind of dry around on the top. And again, a good non-stick pan is the whole secret here. Allow that to just start cooking away, and you can see it starts to loosen up itself. When it starts to loosen up, you can do it like a pancake, or you can just flick it over with the spatula. But as I can't emphasize this enough, these guys will want to stick a little bit, so do make sure that you use a good non-stick pan. Something well worth investing in as well. Just cook them a little bit on both sides. You don't want too much colour on it because you want to be able to fold it to actually create your little wrap. But as you can see, once they start cooking, they're quite robust. And that's it with the wrap itself. So I'm just going to pop that on a plate and then just cook the rest that I need. Now to finish the little wrap, there's my little tuna avocado salad I made earlier. I'm just going to add a smidge of olive oil in there as well, I meant to say, about a tablespoon. I just think it richens it up a little bit and gives that, and kind of allows the whole thing to kind of fall together a little bit better. And then it's just as simple as any old wrap. Just get yourself a few nice little crisp salad leaves, pop them on. Some of our nice little tuna salad with the avocado. And then it's just a case of folding it all up and eating. And that's it. Nice little sandwich idea, very, very easy. And again, a gluten-free option. A nice little oat wrap with tuna and avocado.